Hey, 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 hey. Yo, what is up? What is up? I'm trying to get my boogie on right now. Gangsta boogie, gangsta boogie. Looking ass. What is going on? This is the No I Don't Know podcast. We couldn't do the No Way Out tonight, man. Shout out to Nuke. Nuke was on the whole stroll, making sure those bitches was getting her money. I just got done talking to her. Nah, I'm just fucking with y'all. Nah, Nuke wasn't able to make it tonight, man. So shout out to Nuke. She'll try to be back next week. We gonna try to be back next week, man. Hey, motherfuckers busy. Y'all know about working for the Court Plantation. Goddamn. Y'all niggas acting like this is our job. Hey, if you listen on SoundCloud, appreciate you. I don't give a fuck. It's all good. It's the internet. Hey, listen to this shit while you at the job, though. I be wanting motherfuckers to listen to it when they at the job. What's up? I took your nap. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Tasha? Hey, my sister in the chat room. Hey, look, you about to throw me off. Hey, hey, remember when that lady was like, I want to go to OJ Church. Hey, that's an inside joke, man. This lady came to the church. Man, this bitch was tripping, high out of her mind. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. What's going on with the chat room? Hey, man, let's just get to the subject real quick. Hey, I know y'all was at the Court Plantation. My client ass was there too. Don't try to, man, let me just get this straight one time. I can't stand motherfuckers that act like this is the shit that tripped me out. Okay, we all need our money. I get that. We need our money. We gotta go to the job. I get that. But I know y'all got these people that be acting like they be excited to get to work. Now, I get it where you just want to get there and make a good impression because, you trying to keep your job. I understand that. We know those people that's out there. I'm talking about the people that's been working there for 100 years and be so excited to go to work. I just be looking at them in the morning time like, nigga, this is slavery, right? God damn, I guess. Man. Hey, yeah. Y'all was high as a motherfucker. Whoopo was just a little baby. Man, y'all don't know. Man, one day I'm just going to some stories. I have all y'all niggas laughing. I'm telling you, comedy. Man, I don't understand those people. I do not understand those people that be like, can't work to get to work and talk, and I just be looking at these motherfuckers like, damn, nigga, what you was doing? Dreaming about coming to work all night? God damn. If that's your dream, that's a nightmare to me. On Elm Street. Facts. But anyway, man, I was at the Corporate Plantation. That's why I be wanting people to listen to this shit while you at the job. It's the best therapy. Cause I'll listen to the playback. When I'm at work, I'll be like, God damn, that is true though. Cause there's a lot of shit that be going on. Hey man, shout out to everybody. Hey, I'm still reading this clown ass book. Well, it's not no clown book. It's a good book though. I'm reading it. I'll get deep more into it once I'm done with it or whatever. But yeah, man, I'm about to get into it. As you can see the title, Memorial High School's Thug Day. So I think it's in Texas. It's got to be in Texas. I was reading this article. I saw it on Twitter. And I either think Dr. Boyce Watkins or Tariq Nasheed. I think it was Tariq who kind of set it off. That nigga always man. That nigga's like CNN and BBC and Yahoo and all them. That nigga be finding them articles. But I was like kind of reading because I think somebody else had reposted it. And it didn't surprise me. Memorial High School's Thug Day. I'll say it one more time. Man. Now, I guess all these Caucasians, they have this Thug Day. I guess they retitled it something else. It's been going on since like 2015 or 2014. And this girl named Rachel Goodwin she retweeted it and basically was like, she was basically like, they need to stop doing this shit. This shit is racist. It's a motherfucker. So if her intentions were good, then shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? For putting the shit on blast and breaking code. I know you was breaking code. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when Caucasians speak out, they breaking code. And, you know, we need to know what this is. Whether she was doing it as a good thing or bad, whatever. That's not the point. The point is we got to look into seeing what's going on. So they had a whole bunch of Caucasians wearing cornrows and big jerseys and tattoos and you know, that's their way of, I guess, making a mockery out of black people. Now, some could find it as humor. Some could find it as, that's not funny. Now, here's the thing. You got to look at the administration. They're the ones who putting it on. Now, I guess they do a Mexican day too, where motherfuckers be, you know, dressing up with the poncho things and the mariachi clothing and whatever. But then I guess it was a white kid that was unnamed and they start telling the truth. See how they try to use the Latino shit, like, oh, well, we do the Latinos. Well, that was good. Then do that for them. Don't do that shit for us. Well, one of the white kids who will be unnamed, I guess he didn't want to put his name on there, was like, they full of shit. Basically, like the Latino week, niggas was dressing up as border patrol officers and shit, and walking up to people and asking them if they can mow their lawn. And see, I want to see if Mexicans think that shit is funny, because I know a few of them that probably be like, nigga, that shit ain't funny. Some Mexicans probably would laugh, but that's not the point. Y'all do that to them. Don't do that shit to us. We built the country, clown. And if that's what y'all doing in the school districts out there in Houston or in Texas, y'all poking fun at other racial groups, then why don't y'all poke fun at y'all? And I say we do this. Since y'all want to do a thug week, I say we do the real thug week. And all black kids dress up as the Rothschilds, the Wahlbergs, the Morgans, the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers. Dress up as them and put system of white supremacy and then and put that on your back, and put creators of Federal Reserve, which equals the system of white supremacy. Dress up as Thomas Jefferson, dress up as George Washington, and let everybody know what they really did. Since we want to have a thug week, and dress up as every Ashkenazi, Khazarian Jew who were for the benefits of slavery. And then we should wear pictures of the secret relationship between Jews and blacks, that book by the Nation of Islam, and then it should be different quotes of how they would depict black women and black men. Let's do that. Let's see how far that would go. Man, that wouldn't go far at all. Them motherfuckers would be trying to expel every black kid at that school for doing some shit like that. See, it's funny, man, because the racism is so blatant now. You want this. The reason why you want this, because you want to know exactly what they thinking. And this is how they feel, and this is how they think. As Dr. Francis West Welsing teaches us, we want white people to tell us what's being said when we're not in the room. So that Thug Day was letting everybody know, well, this is how we really feel about black people. Like, this is how we feel about niggas, period. So any Caucasian that was against it, that means they were probably socialized a lot differently. Like, hey man, we don't do shit like that. But the majority of Caucasians that are socialized in this United States of America Incorporated are socialized to think that niggas ain't shit. We dumb, we deaf, we blind, we don't read books, and all we do is dance. That's what we do. We want to do the butterfly, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do that shit and all that bullshit. And that's all they think we do. And that's all that's all they'll ever think we do. Because they don't want to change the narrative. Because if they change the narrative, that would be, you're basically empowering melanated people, and they don't want us to be empowered. That's why they don't want you reading. You want to hide something from a nigga? Uh, keep it in the book. Put it in the book, and they won't fuck with you. See, I look at those things, man, and that's why I think a lot of our youth, our black kids, if we could get them in privately held black schools, you know what I mean? I think it should be, the black schools should be taught by us, ran by us, you know, and not just that. Okay, we'll hire anybody, but you're going to teach our curriculum. So I would like to see any Caucasian that would love to teach at a black school and teach black children that the majority of Caucasians that are in the United States of America benefit from the free labor of melanated people. When there's a Caucasian that will teach that in a black school, then hey, I'm all for it. And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Caucasians out there that would love to teach that. Would they be frowned upon? Most likely. Would they be ostracized? Probably, but you know, they're out there. That's what needs to happen, because we need to start being socialized from an early age that, hey man, you are the gods of the earth. You are the God. You are the creators. You are the inventors. See that high school education and that education in the school districts period, they socialize you just to be a worker and not to be creative. And then the system is so good. The system of white supremacy is so good to melanated people that those other melanated kids at that school, unless it was an all white school, they probably was laughing with them and thought that shit was funny. You know what I mean? But you dare not say nothing about no Caucasian. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, you're racist. The system is so good, when a white person calls a black person a racist, we be defending this. I'm not racist. Instead of saying black people cannot be racist because racism is the competition between resources and use those resources to oppress another group or social background or social group. And since black people don't own no boats, no cars, no ships, no cakes, no pies, we don't own none of that shit. We don't own no corporations. How can we oppress another group? That's what racism is about. No. They think because you call a white person a honky or a cracker that you racist. That's just name calling. That doesn't affect Caucasians while calling them cracker. They're still able to oppress you because they oppress you through the corporations, through the money. You get this book, I'm gonna keep saying it. They dominate 9 areas of activity. Now I can't remember all of them because it's a bunch of them. They dominate law, labor, war, counter-war, entertainment, education. Let's see. Education, I think. Finances. I forgot the other ones. I'm blanking. But I know religion, they dominate that as well too. You like, how do they dominate? Go listen to the other podcasts. Look, they dominate religion because every black church you go into, who's on the wall? Because it ain't no nigga that look like you on that wall. Who is on the wall? Facts. Go do your research, then holler at me. Cesare Borgia's on the wall and Lucrezia. And that's a fact. Oh, you just had that conversation with a coworker about being racist. Yeah, they quick to be. If you be like, that's name calling. I tell everybody this shit all the time. Read these books. I'm telling you, name calling, just name calling. You just slinging mud. Racism is the competition of resources. Let me tell you something. Get Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor, White Wealth. Get Dirty Little Secrets. Get the Black History Reader. Get Powernomics. That's racism. There's racism, there's classism, then there's racism. What Caucasians experience is classism in the United States of America. We experience classism and racism. And here's my take on how they experience classism. If you work at the corporate plantation and you have white friends that work there, or white co-workers, and they work side by side with you and they bust their ass, but they never move up, but they want to. And then there's another Caucasian that gets placed over them because they know, because they come from wealth and money, and then the people that their parents know the people that's over that company. That's classism. That's a certain level of class. And see, we be mistaking that for like, oh, that's fucked up. No, it ain't. Because you deal with classism and racism. Only thing Caucasians deal with is classism. And they hardly ever deal with that. But they do. Because the elite people that run any major Fortune 500 company, there's an elite group that's at the top. That's at the very top, that have all the money, they make all the decisions. And then their families and their kids and kids and kids and family members and cousins, they're able to walk right past the gate because of the wealth and the class that they're in. It's the same thing like living in Beverly Hills and living in regular LA. There's a certain level of class, taxes, all different tax brackets, everything that goes along with that. And Caucasians do deal with that because there's a lot of poor Caucasians. There's a lot of poor Caucasians that are on welfare. The dominant society is on welfare. They reign supreme on welfare. It ain't black people. They just got the stereotype, and they socially engineer people through the dummy box TV to think that every black person is on welfare. Look, all y'all niggas that's on welfare, look, now we can talk about y'all because you are people, but they can't talk about y'all. You on welfare, get that shit. I don't give a fuck. If you really need that shit, get it. You deserve it. Don't feel bad about it. Your people built this country. It's money they already owe you. Now, my brothers and sisters that be on that shit with a Benz and a Beamer and a Range Rover, and you got an EBT card now, come on, my nigga. Y'all, somebody done told you wrong. Now, I ain't gonna throw your ass under the bus, but goddamn, don't hide, divide, nigga. If you got to hook up on EBT, nigga, then nigga, pass the P's like you used to do, nigga. Shit, don't hide, divide. Fair exchange ain't no robbery. Come on, man. That's all I got to say. But don't let no motherfucker have you thinking that it's all niggas on welfare. Man, go to the county. The dominant society is all over there. You like, who's the dominant society? Everybody that's not melanated. Everybody that's not melanated. You can sprinkle a couple of melanated people in that office, but the majority of them is who? Whites and Caucasians and Latinos, which all classify as white. Because Hispanics ain't nothing but Mexican people speaking Spanish. Facts. Remember, Spanish comes from Spain, clown. Where's Spain at? In Europe. Remember that. That's their dialect. So, and it's no diss. Look it up. Find me a book that will quantify, or not even quantify, that will disqualify what I'm saying. That's cool. I'll read the book. But I'm just tired of us. See, that's what I'm saying. They do a thug day at the high school and then have everybody. And then if a black school want to do a thug day and then be like, oh, and you hit thug day, the real thugs. And then have a whole bunch of white people like Thomas Jefferson and Rockefeller and the Rothschilds and George Bush and all them other motherfuckers and Dick Cheney and all them motherfuckers be like, oh, they racist. But we ain't racist. We don't control, manipulate no resources. And you can only explain it to black people because black people, we have this innate spirit in us where we want to defend that. No, we ain't racist. Don't defend that shit. Point them to these books. Even if you ain't ready. Point them to this book. Point them to it. And be like, hey, a compensatory counter-racist code, get that book by Neely Fuller Jr. It'll tell you about racism. Get Black Labor by Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. It'll tell you about racism. Get The ISIS Paper by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. It'll tell you about racism. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are just things. Get Before the Mayflower. That's a very good book. Shit, I forgot I read that book. It's a really good book. That's what Before the Mayflower was the reason why I got this book on Queen Nzinga, because she was in that book. They were talking about she was dope. I still got to read that book. But I'm gonna tell you this. We got to change the narrative ourselves. And those things, they're dog whistling. They just want a reaction out of niggas. That's why they did that thug day. That shit been going on. Go after the administration. Everybody in the administration should be fired. and make them go look for another job somewhere else. That could cause a little bit of ruckus, but protesting and fighting all this other shit, that don't mean nothing. All you doing is marching, whining, repeating, and wasting your breath. And then white people are behind closed doors like, did you see Tyrone and John Quavius? They're out there protesting, Bob. What do you think about that? Those silly niggers. Those niggers are crazy. How do they get the energy to do that? Like, shouldn't they be trying to go play basketball or rap or something? You know? Jesus, or go carjack somebody? That's what they think. We gotta think outside the box, man. That school allowed them to do that. So go out there shit, and they always want to let you know when somebody fucking with one of the little kids or some shit. But let us know about the background and what y'all doing with the goddamn money. Okay, we want to know that too, but we want to know about the money too. And why is it y'all ain't never got no money for shit, but they building a goddamn stadium? As those Caucasian kids made terrorist threats on melanated brothers and sisters at Arborview High School, and nothing was done. And then they had a Caucasian or a woman, a part of the dominant society, say, yeah, you colored people. And then like, oh, well, I'm not apologizing for that. This is who they put in charge. That's why I say black people can't be racist, because look at who was in charge. They hire people that look like them. They'll hire 2 or 3 niggas at a corporate plantation, and then had the 2 or 3 niggas arguing over one coon treat. They dangle one coon treat in front of 3 niggas, and then you know one nigga gonna be like, well, fuck it, I'll throw him under the bus because I gotta get that coon treat. You know, I got family to feed. It's always this, I got a family to feed. Okay, we know you got a family to feed, but that don't mean you got a coon and Sambo and sell your own people out. Facts. You know what I mean? Like, that shit don't surprise me. Texas don't surprise me, period. Come on, George W. Bush and them is from Texas. That should let you know type of motherfuckers is going on out there. Which brings me to Pamela Turner. The sister, the black sister that had a mental illness. I think she suffered from schizophrenia. And what is so funny, what is so funny about Pamela Turner is the police officer who they're hiding his name, he lived in the same, I think he might have lived in the same apartment complex as that sister. He probably didn't like her anyway. And if she was schizophrenic, I'm pretty sure 1 minute she was cool, 1 minute she like, fuck you motherfucker, I can already tell. Isn't it so ironic? A lot of these killings are so close to these police officers be knowing these niggas. They be knowing these black people. And they just be wanting to kill them because they just be wanting to kill them. They just need a reason. Just like I watched this one brother when they were asking him if his name was Quentin or some shit like that. And he was like, nigga, my name is not Quentin. You just rolled up on me in front of my house with my kids. The only thing, he stood his ground, but we got to stop being so emotional. It's hard for us not to be emotional because we got souls. But that police officer did look nervous and he looked scared. And he was basically holding his arm. He wanted to provoke him. He did the right thing by saying, "Can you need to get your training officer out here, not your superior officer out here." I think that's what we need to start doing. When we get pulled over and we feel like it's going bad, call 911. Whoever's around needs to call 911 and videotape it. And we need to request that your superior officer please come to this site. Please. And keep requesting that. And then as that person is recording, go on Facebook Live. Boom, record it right away. Go on YouTube Live. Go on Instagram Live. Go on Twitter Live. Go on all of them if you can. And put their asses on blast. And then they have to correct their behavior. Because once they correct their behavior, see, they got to know. If you watch Flint Town on Netflix, one of the Caucasian cops on there, he was like, look, you guys are being you guys are being filmed. This is not the 90s and early 2000s. You are being filmed, so you do not lie. Like Walter Scott, that white cop who shot him and then planted a gun there and didn't know he was being watched. Look, for all you dumbass Caucasian officers, the Rodney King shit wasn't enough? I guess not. You know, it's just, We got to stop being so emotional. We got to read. We got to get knowledge of self. We got to know exactly what's going on. And we got to take the bull by the horns, control the narrative. This is going to keep happening. They're going to keep shoving that racist shit in your face. While they shoving that shit in your face, you just keep reading these books. Keep reading these books. That's what I do. Just keep reading them. Find the time. If you can't do nothing but read 10 minutes out of your day, try to read 10 minutes out of your day. Try to read 30 minutes out the week. Start off small. That's what I did. I started off small, 20, 30 minutes. And then man, it just went to the point to where I was reading 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. I would say I was reading about 2 to 3 hours a day. I mean, for a while, I didn't even watch fucking TV. And on Saturday and Sunday, I would read about 7 to 8 hours a day. That's how I was able to fly. Because I barely started reading probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't care. Other than that, I was misinformed about a whole lot of shit. I knew a little bit, but I was very misinformed. And YouTube cannot give you education. It can give you insight, but it can't give you the education that books can. It just can't. Excuse me. Shit. Motherfucking weather all fucked up all year. 1 minute is 90 degrees, next minute is 50. With they seeing the clouds having ass. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm just saying, like, you got to program yourself. I would say program yourself according to what you have to do in your day. Because everybody got jobs and everybody got things they got to do. So it's like, everybody, hey, I just kind of rearranged and I would say I recalibrated my mind first. So I was like, okay, I got to get used to reading. And then I restructured everything that I had going on so I could read those books. Because I wanted to read them. Because I listening to the podcast I listen to, man, it's insightful. You listen to Professor Griff, man, he always throwing books at you. So it's like, and I don't want to be dumb or look dumb. So I'm like, man, I want to read these books because I want to know what this brother's talking about. So that would, that gives you a different perspective. But I'll tell you this, when you do start reading books, you got to be careful because the conversation that you have with the average commoner, you're going to be like, damn, what the fuck? Especially if let's say you read 10 books in a year. Let's just say 10. You know what I'm saying? 10, or let's say 5. You read 5 books. If you read 5 books a year, if you just read 5, your conversation is going to be different. The way you look at things is going to be different. And then you're able to pull certain things out and look, because everything is encoded. The corporate plantation is a code. You know what I mean? The TV is a code. It's codes. They're always selling shit. It's always a certain demographic. It's niggas selling McDonald's and ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. And they got a nigga biting in a motherfucking nasty ass double quarter pounder. That's not even real food. It's food-like substance. Facts. Then they got niggas making beats. You know what I mean? For Sprite. You understand what I'm saying? So you gotta be able to decode that and be like, oh, well, why they got niggas promoting Sprite? Let me go buy Sprite. What's going on, Shawnee Brown? What's happening? Let me read something from the chat. TML, let me see. It ain't nothing but the other races in the county building getting their steps and health. That's a fact. Look, we know. For all y'all that have come from Los Angeles, California, a nigga can't tell us shit. And that's a motherfucking fact. You can't tell us shit. California ain't nothing but Mexico. No, California is the new Mexico. What you talking about? It's Mexico 2.0. And it's no diss to my Mexican brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my confident Latino brothers and sisters. Because they out there. I'm talking about the confident. Man, I remember my nigga Faustino. He went to my high school. He lives right around the corner from where I used to live in Baldwin Park, West Covina. I hate saying Baldwin Park because I hated it. But anyway, and I remember me and him would chop it up, and he would always throw little jewels at me in high school. Like, I understand why Mexicans don't like black people, but they listen to rap. He would say that shit to me. He was like, that doesn't make sense. And they watch basketball, and they watch football, and they watch baseball. And this was in the 90s when baseball was dominated by black people. Before they went to the Dominican Republic and the Puerto Ricans, and they got them because the Dominicans and them, they'll take a little bit of nothing. They ain't gonna take no real money. So, and I remember when he said that, and he was like, I don't get it. And I was like, man, I don't get it either. He was like, that shit is dumb. He was like, I just think it's stupid. He's like, you don't like black people, you call them all this racist shit, but you listen to NWA and Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg, and he's like, I don't get that. He's like, I just don't get it. He's like, don't listen to their shit. Don't watch their stuff. He was like, I'm not like that. He was like, but that's why I don't have a whole lot of Latino friends, Mexican friends. It's like, because that's stupid. And me and him was like real tight. That was my nigga, man. He may be changed because everybody do change, but I ain't saw him and talked to him in a long time, but me and him was cool. He was a solid Latino brother. Very, very confident. Very confident. I'm telling you, man. And those people exist. Man, Shani Brown, what's going on, man? Hey, TML, I was asking for you the other day. Hey, I know, she sure was. She sure was. She was asking for you the other day. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Hey, I'll tell you this too. Here's the thing about that. I would say this. When you go to these places like the county building or you go to these places, just sit back and observe. I think that should be, I'm gonna be honest, I think that should be like not a job, but like I'm blanking on the words, but that should be like a trip, not even a trip, but I can't even think of the word right now. I'm blanking, but it just should be something that you go do, like an assignment that you do with your family one day. You just say, hey, come here, let's ride, and let's just sit in the parking lot and watch and see who all in there. And just walk in there one day and take a paper like you going to take a paper and just look around. It'll blow your fucking mind. Oh, watch it. Hey, you guys sleep. But I'm just saying, I'm reading for the chat room sometime. But I don't even know why this shit doing this. But I'll tell you this. It'll blow your mind. And the reason why I say it'll blow your mind is because they will propagate and frame the picture like it is us that's all on the county. And they'll make us feel like they'll make us feel like this thing be tripping, man. YouTube be tripping like a motherfucker, man. But anyway, I don't even know. Is the chat room? I hope the chat room is working. But anyway, they'll frame the picture like it's all us. Just like every crime stat, it's all us. You know what I'm saying? It's all us. And then they put white figureheads or black people, white people in black skin. That's what I'll say. And they'll have them talk to us like, to me, they'll have them talk to us like we are deaf, dumb, and blind, and we should listen to them. Like Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton was an FBI informant. Why would we listen to him? The FBI is who killed Martin Luther King. So no, I'm not gonna listen to him. Him or Messy Jesse. We gotta look around. See, right now it's a civil war. Because you got black people that go to work and do their job and handle business. And then you got black people that go to work and coon and sambo. So now you gotta fight them and you gotta fight all the other races. And then you gotta fight for yourself just so you get your little money. So it's very difficult at the corporate plantation. It's very different. You have to understand exactly what the social game rules are. Because there's game rules everywhere. And you got to know exactly what your surroundings are and just watch. I do. That's why I'm quiet. That's one thing I learned from watching Vice. Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney was super quiet the whole time. I said on the last podcast, he was just super quiet because he wanted to see what people had to say. And that's what I do. Sometimes I talk, but a lot of times I just kind of watch and listen because you want to see. You want to watch people. And when people show you who they are, believe them. Don't mistake them as somebody else and give them a chance because they're not going to give you no chance. You like, what you mean when they're not going to give you no chance? Man, these people ain't going to give you no chance. You black. You black and white America. Why would they give you a chance? Why would they? There is no reason for us to think that it is okay for a high school to have a thug day. Come on, man. But you want those things because you want them to show you exactly how they feel. So while we sitting up here worrying about Aisha Curry and all the bullshit, we need to be worrying about things that really matter. Just like the Steve Harvey thing. Hell yeah, I got on his clown ass. Man, fuck Steve Harvey. I'll say it again. Man, Steve Harvey ain't shit. Now he losing all his little wealth and shit, and the cooning done ran out. Watch, all he gonna do is when he get to his last couple, some white dominated broadcasting station will pick Steve Harvey up. I'm about to call him Coon Harvey up because he's a coon. And he basically told Monique to be a coon and bow down and throw your integrity away and all. And I'm proud of Monique. We may not have liked her antics and we may not have liked her methods or how she went about it, but she's victorious. I bet you she probably laughing now. Like, yeah, I told you, look at Oprah. Look at all these motherfuckers. Look what they do. Why is it don't none of these black people that are in positions of not even power, but they're in a position of social power where people look up to them and watch them and they don't ever say shit? Because it's just like working at the corporate plantation. You get black people in positions of power, they worried about themselves. And they gonna close the door behind them and lock it. And then you gonna be knocking on the door and knocking and they ain't gonna never come to the door and answer. And that's a fact. It's more of that going on at the corporate plantation than anything else. You know what I mean? That's not gonna change. You know what'll change? These books. These books will change. Hey, Shawnee Brown, I got this book. Oh, man, I'm talking to the chat room right now. It's called The Protocols to the Elders of Zion. This book is so raw. Man, this book is so raw. Y'all got to check it out. Man, this book is so... I can't. I'm about to read this, the Protocols to the Elders of Zion. Then I'm about to read this book I got to order this book by Jordan Maxwell. I'm telling you, it's called the Matrix. I think it's called The Matrix of Power, the Power of the Matrix, or whatever. I'm gonna check it out, man. This is where the occult shit is at. The hidden knowledge, the esoteric meanings of things and codes and symbols. That's the whole point of reading books, I think. So you could see exactly it's like the Matrix. When Neo truly knew he was the one, he didn't see the Matrix like everybody else. He saw it in codes and numbers and symbols. And that's how you got to see it. It's hard to take time. Look, I don't see a whole lot of shit. But even when you watch TV. I forgot the name. You got to look it up. You got to look the book up on Amazon. I forgot the name because I put it on my shelf. I put it on my bookshelf. But, hey, I just read the intro. Hey, in the intro, Shawnee, let me tell you this. Hey, this book raw. He talks about The International Jew by Henry Ford. And that book, I don't think you can find nowhere. I'm going to look it up. But Henry Ford was talking about them Ashkenazi Khazarian Jews and how they was, they went at his ass when he started putting their ass out there about the shit that they do. Who Mark Zuckerberg is an Ashkenazi Khazarian Jew too. They all are. But yep. Hey man. And those are the type of things that I'm into. I like reading books like that. Oh, it's by Victor Marsden. Yes, it is. Hey, that book is cold. And all I've read was I just read the intro. I haven't even read the book. I just read the fucking intro. I was hooked. I said, fuck. But I'm already reading this numerology book, so, I can't read 3 different books. I probably need to start doing it. I don't even have enough time to read 3 different books because I be trying to work on music and shit. But, man, that book looked raw. And then I want to get this Jordan Maxwell book about the power of the Matrix or some shit like that. Who really controls the world? Like the hidden hand type shit. These are books that our people need to be exposed to. Like Dr. Boyce Watkins, he's coming out with a new book. I'ma cop that shit. Hey, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I don't care. You ain't gotta like Dr. Boyce Watkins. I fuck with Dr. Boyce Watkins because listening to him, hey, he broke down that stock in such a simplistic form, and that's what got me to start investing in the stock market. And that's a fact. I wouldn't even look. I only heard one person talk about Bitcoin, and that was this dude named Kevin Berenger, and he was talking about Bitcoin, and Dr. Boyce Watkins was talking about that shit. That's it. And talking about stock and how it's manipulated in 401k and endowments and mutual funds and money market accounts. I fuck with Dr. Boyce Watkins. He got a new book coming out too. I think it comes out May 19th. Yeah, it's on Amazon. Check that shit out. Hey, like I told you, I only read the beginning. And I'm like, man, I'm hooked. I'm telling you, see, the shit is out there, just we don't want to read it. And you, of course, you know they was bashing the book. Like they was mad at Amazon for still selling it. Not Cali being, I'm reading from the chat room, not Cali being Mexico. It is. Look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna jump all over the place. Hey, this shit is hood over here. Look, man, I'm from Los Angeles, California. I can tell you that right now. Not West Covina, Los Angeles, California. I went to Shenandoah Elementary. Facts. And Playboy Games the Hood. So, nigga can't tell me shit. And I'll tell you this. When I grew up in LA, I'm used to seeing the ice cream truck was black. The person who drove the ice cream truck was black. Everybody on our street was black. Everybody at my school, we were the majority at Shenandoah Elementary. And there were a lot of, because Shenandoah Elementary, for all y'all that don't know, you can Google it. Shenandoah is West LA. That's where I grew up. And Shenandoah is close to Beverly Hills. And there's a lot of Jews and shit that live over there. They always been over there. Long story short, so it was a lot of, like, some white kids, a lot of white teachers, a lot of Asians too. When I was a kid, I remember that shit. But it was very few Mexicans. Very few. Very few. Very few. Now it ain't nothing but Mexicans. Them Latino brothers and sisters got that shit sold up out there. And it's crazy. I'm like, fuck that. And let me tell you something. Las Vegas starting to be the same goddamn thing. And it's no diss. This ain't no diss. I'm just speaking on what I see. That's why they got all the businesses locked up. But that shit is by design. It's by design. That's why we got to read. That's why you always hear me talking about books and shit. Because if you read Black Labor, White Wealth, and you read Powernomics, especially Black Labor, White Wealth, he talks about how in like 1985 or 6, or I forgot which book. Shawnee, you might have to help me out. I forgot which book, but he talks about how we were ahead of the Latinos in the 80s. And then I think now they're ahead of us. They're ahead of us on the socioeconomic scale or whatever for businesses and wealth. It ain't us, it's them. And a lot of it is because we can't work together and we too busy worried about shit like Aisha Curry's clown ass. Man, fuck Aisha Curry and fuck Steve Harvey. And any nigga that has sought out to be like him, then you a wig wearing, bald headed, having ass coon. So man, fuck all that. You don't want to be like that nigga. You don't never bring your brother, sister on your platform to like try to like pander to the Caucasians, because that's what he did when he brung her on there. That's, I said it before. That's why everybody, he was like, this ain't the race, this ain't the white gang, this ain't the black gang, this ain't the white gang, this ain't the black gang, this the money gang, Mo, this the money gang. That bullshit. No, nigga, it's the white supremacy gang, and you know what it is. And all you niggas around is bound down because y'all don't like that. I'm like, nigga, I need my money. Fuck out of here. And I believe that. Every time a nigga speak out, niggas run away. It's a lonely road when you stand by it's just lonely. Because everybody ain't gonna be on the same energy vibration as you. And if they don't read at all, and don't think of things differently, let me tell you this. It's not even about reading at this point. If you don't become an outside thinker, then you a commoner like everybody else. Everybody need to go get them. I ain't saying them. Go get your an etymology dictionary. I haven't looked up no words in a minute, but go get your etymology dictionary. It gives you the origin of words and why the words were created. That's why when a nigga be like nigga and all this other shit, go look up nigger in the etymology dictionary. It's gonna be like, it's gonna tell you, it's gonna tell you see niggas or nigga, I forgot. And then niggas means Abyssinian king. And Abyssinia is in Ethiopia. Facts. I'm telling y'all, man. Go get that. I forgot the meaning because I ain't looked in the book in a long time, but I know it tells you what the real meaning of that shit is. We gotta know what it is, man. And stop thinking that these people, look, just because they had a motherfucking thug day, what you need to do is step back and be like, oh. What book is thick as hell? Oh, the etymology? Man, it's the origin of words. It's not the clown-ass Klebster's dictionary. No, it's the etymology of words. So it gives you the root meaning of the word and why it was created. It's not just the clown-ass Webster's dictionary and they bullshit. Because, of course, you look up nigger in the book, they're going to be like, oh, it means it's a racist comment or some bullshit. Like, it tells you exactly what it is. Because I think if you look up nigger, it means, it tells you look up Negro. And then Negro is like negus, negus, and all this other shit. Okay? Hey, let me read some from the chat. TML. Listen to Ice Cube. He put JC Jackson on blast about that child support. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Cube, look, y'all want to aspire to be somebody? Be Cube. Man, I can't believe that chat shit even came up because this shit is tripping. It keeps clicking and on my end. It's probably not doing that on y'all end. But if you want to aspire to be like somebody, be like Cube. If y'all notice, Cube don't do a whole lot of smiling. Go check out his son, O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s interview on The Breakfast Club. And you see how he was like, yeah, my dad don't really do a lot of smiling. Thank you. He doesn't do a lot of smiling. And for y'all that don't know, the dude that plays Stan, that's his cousin. He's from the Nation of Islam. See, we always attribute the Nation of Islam to being bad, but it's good because look at Cube. His cousin's part of the Nation of Islam. And look at Cube. Look at how successful Cube has been. And he has embraced the Nation of Islam. But what I love about Cube, he is not no smiley motherfucker. I got love for Cube because he don't smile with them motherfuckers at all. He ain't that bullshit. You right. You right, man. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I'm a cool. That bullshit. That's clown shit, man. Yeah, hey, that book is thick. Hey, I'm always talking to the chat room. And you right, DML, you right. He called Jesse Jackson out because Jesse Jackson was talking shit about Cube. And then because I think of the first barbershop. And then after that, after the first barbershop, that's when he went at Jesse Jackson. It was like, keep your payments up. That nigga had a baby out of wedlock. Man, don't get me started on that shit. But anyway, look, Shawnee, look up nigger. Look up nigger in the etymology dictionary when you get a chance. You're going to be like, just look up different words that people say. It's going to fuck you up. If you look up money and look up money and look up cash, one of them is like, oh, currency. That's money that flows. Cash is like something you use to barter. Like, it's got so many different meanings. Like if you look up pharmacy, because I looked up pharmacy, it means poisoner. That's what pharmacy means. It doesn't mean health, it means poisoner. That's what it means. And get you a Black's Law dictionary. It gives you the meaning of like what black is and white, and man, it just, these things are important because it helps us decode what the fuck is going on in life. Let me tell you something. I was so misinformed into our red, black, labor, white. Well, first of all, when I read Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's book, my head was hurting because she fucked me up. I always have respect for her. That's why I like Tim Wise, because he's talking shit about her. Now, Tim Wise, the same white boy going around black people, and my daddy raised me to be this and this way, and and my daddy sent me to school with black kids, and they treated black kids because my daddy told, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck Tim Wise. That nigga ain't for us. That nigga's for him. I'm pretty sure he taking money to do all them little speeches and shit. So fuck Tim Wise, man. I was always suspect of him. I remember when I saw him, when he was on Zoe Williams' show, I was just kind of like, yeah, the jury's still out on this motherfucker. And then I remember I even told my brother, I was like, I don't know about that nigga. We gonna keep watching. Now Jane Elliott, I fuck with Jane Elliott, cause she kind of breaking shit down, but there's few and far between that's like Jane Elliott. That's a fact. Most of them are the total opposite. They probably don't like the bitch, and she's able to do that because she doesn't have a large following, and she didn't make hundreds of millions of dollars on that, and she can't sway. I was watching that video with Pamela Turner and how the cop was fucking with her and they going back and forth. Okay. Why is it y'all notice there's a lot of videos of white police officers fighting with black women? So I'm gonna put this message out to all my sisters. When you get pulled over by the police, do not get emotional. No matter what it is, don't get emotional. Just bite the bullet. Call 911 when they pull you over. If you know it's about to get hostile, call 911. Call 911. And then after that, just do what they say. And then you'll worry about it later. And call whoever you can who can bail you out or whatever. And if you can, request that they have a superior officer come out and be a witness to what is going on because you don't feel comfortable. And you can request that on 911. And the reason why I'm saying it is because a lot of these videos I watch, we get so emotional. And we don't know how to, because I get it, because the emotions are high because we're afraid. But we got to learn how to suppress that shit. I've been pulled over a lot of times. I just keep my cool, give my license, and that's it. And of course they go, well, where are you going? And all this other shit. Like they did Sandra Bland. That police officer was provoking her. Exactly. You got a license to carry? I know. That's my next thing too. Oh, you think I'm bullshitting? I'm going to the gun range. Fuck that, I'm going to the range. That's a motherfucking fact. Where I live, oh yeah, I'm about getting my license for real. You ain't finna have me out here without my thing. Fuck that. Fuck that, that's real. I've already been looking and researching. I like to do things in decency and order. And I suggest everybody goes out and gets them a firearm and goes to the range. Cause I am. That's a fact. I definitely am. And then I'm gonna learn, cause I wanna, these are things that we have to arm ourselves. Armageddon may come. And I don't wanna be out here without no motherfucking firepower. Cause you can't be out there with no stick. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. But it's also very important not to be emotional, because when the police know you have a license to carry, they really gonna fuck with you so they can get your shit taken away from you. That's why you gotta be very, very cognizant and very mindful of the responsibility behind that. And don't be letting everybody know. Don't be letting everybody know shit. Only few far in between. We just gotta stop being so emotional, because that sister, she was suffering from an illness. And the person that was videotaping, I get it, but I wish whoever was videotaping, I wish they would have flagged somebody to go over there and stand. Look, if you go over there and they tell you, please step back, then you just step back, but you still watch. And then pull out your phone right in front of them and record them. Yes, they do. Yes, they motherfucking do. And pull out your phone and watch. And I'm going to tell you why. Because once the police knows he's being filmed, see, they can edit those body cams, but they can't edit your camera. And guess what? Their body cam ain't attached to social media, but our cameras are. So you can go Instagram Live, you go Facebook Live, you go Twitter Live, you go YouTube Live. Remember that. We got to protect our own. And when we see our sisters getting into some type of dispute with the dominant society, we got to stop what we're doing and go there and see what it is. But we hate each other so much. Look, y'all spend so much time hating each other. These motherfuckers just picking us off one by one. I'm waiting to see when the motherfucker be like, all right, I got to put that shit to the side, because I gotta, these motherfuckers, the motherfuckers is laughing at us and fucking with us. And let me read something from the chat. Shawnee Brown says, yes, and take your children because all the white boys teach little Bobby how to shoot at 10. Yes, they do. And I wish I was socialized that way. See, we wasn't socialized that way. We were socialized like, Jesus said it and I get it. But Jesus said it ain't gonna get it. When somebody try to break in your shit. Now, you might have dogs and all that, but you know what? You want to have that thing on you. You want to have as Dr. Francis West Welsing calls it, the great equalizer, if I'm not mistaken. You want to have that, because a nigga think twice before they try to run up in your shit. Because, some motherfuckers do that. They just want to just run up in your shit. So they can, what I'm saying? We got to be mindful and cognizant of that. We do. There's a lot of things. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, things like Memorial High School having Thug Day and all that, read. If you get books and start reading them, that'll give you a different perspective on why the things are the way they are. After I read, I'll tell you this. After I read The Black History Reader by Dr. Claude Anderson, that book fucked me up. Man, he was breaking that shit down about Andrew Jackson. Man, he was going in on that nigga. And after I read that shit, I was like, man, fuck Andrew Jackson. He ain't shit. All these motherfuckers. Read Anthony Browder's The Browder Files. I got to get his second book, but the first one breaks down the symbols on the dollar. It breaks down a lot of shit. The holidays. Anthony Browder is dope. He gives references to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if I'm not mistaken, in the Nation of Islam. And I think Dr. Claude Anderson kind of breaks that down too. Man, get this book, The Fall of America, by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Get this book, man. I'm telling you. Get this book. Man, every black person think that they got to be a Muslim to read. Man, look, he wrote these books for us. Get the Message to the Black Man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Come on, man. Get these books. Get The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. I wish after I read The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks, I would have read The Protocols to Elders of Zion. I wish I would have read that book the next day, after that. Because, man, reading that book, it just reminds me of The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. Read those books. Man, support the Nation of Islam. Man, when I see that brother, I ain't got my newspaper. I got this newspaper where they got Nipsey Hussle's picture on it and everything. Read them newspapers. They be having some interesting ass articles in there. For real. That will, kind of put you on the game of what's going on. Things that they don't put in the regular newspaper. Get Amos, I think it's Amos Wilson, or I forgot his name. Dr. Amos, or I forgot his name. It's a brother. He's got a whole bunch of books too. And John Henry Clark, I got his book. I think it's it's about a massacre. I think it's the Columbus Massacre, or I forgot what the name of it is. I haven't read it, but it's a pretty good book. There's a lot of books I haven't read, but these books that y'all see up here, besides this one, the numerology book, that book right here that y'all see me holding up, I haven't read all of it. I'm reading through that book right now. But these books are here to better y'all and help us as a people. I'm telling y'all, man, go check this shit out. I do. And when you watch TV, it'll decode. Like, when you read and then you watch TV, you're like, damn, that's why I don't even watch basketball the same. I'm telling y'all, I watched the first round of the playoffs. After that, I ain't watched shit since. Because I get bored easy and stuff. I'd rather watch Basketball Wives or Love and Hip Hop than watch that, because at least I know it's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't sit up there and watch basketball and worry about the over and under. Like I told y'all before, damn, niggas, we ain't good at investing in the stock market, and we'll talk shit about, oh, that's white people shit, that's gambling. But niggas will go to the fucking, to the sports book, and we know all the numbers, the over and the unders, and parlay, and under 5 and over, and the 10, and we know all that little math, and we get in the sports book and be filling out the clown ass shit and sitting up there in front of the screen and mesmerized, hoping, oh man, they just got to score a whole bunch of points because I put 100 on this and I put 50 on this. We'll do that all day long, but when Dr. Boyce Watkins tells us to go invest in the stock market, nah, that's white people shit, man. Fuck Boyce Watkins. That nigga ain't shit. That's how we act. Let me read from the chat. Oh, I don't think I ain't forgot about the Book of Enoch. Don't think that book, you know what? You like the third person. I remember you told me about that book before, but I heard a couple of people. Matter of fact, I heard Professor Griff talking about the Book of Enoch. And the Grand Chessboard by something Zimnitsky or something like that. The Grand Chessboard, that book, it's so many books I gotta get. We gotta know what it is. Reading is fundamental. They already know about the stock. They already know about investing. Even if their parents got dough, they already know. So they kids can be straight. So we gotta know what it is. And stop expecting people to come and save us. Stop worried about what's gonna happen with you. Hey, stop worried about, what's gonna happen? You know, I gotta go to church. And hey man, you go to church and do all that. And that's fine. But you still need to learn how to invest and decode what's going on in this matrix. You gotta know that too. Because Jesus said it ain't going to tell you everything, especially that King James Bible, the version that was written by Shakespeare, that was translated 100,000 times. Don't even get me started on that shit. Look, if you're going to go read the Bible, go read the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. Go read that. Go read those books that basically will tell you like, oh, well, this Jesus story was told 10,000 different times. You know, and the letter J is 2,000 years old. Oh, wait, hold on. Jesus is 2,000 years old, but the letter J is like, I don't know how, it's like, it's not 2,000 years old. The letter J is like 500 years old or 800 years old or some shit like that. It wasn't even his name. They told that story 1,000 times. Go get the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. That story is man, they told that story so many times. Go read The Stolen Legacy. It's so many books that can give you different insight and decode what's going on. So when we look at things like the Memorial High School Thug Day, no, we don't get mad, we get even. We don't try to protest. When we look at people like Pamela Turner and that sister get massacred and she has schizophrenia, what we do is we go get books and research and we come up with a plan. Okay, let's go put a lien on this policeman's bond. So now he can't work. Everybody needs to go down there and put a lien. Let's go put a lien on his bond. And let's stick together. Let's disagree in private, and in public we stand together. We can argue behind closed doors, but in public we gotta be on the same page. That's why when Monique was going through that shit, I think YouTubers and people that's doing podcasts, that's one thing, but people of Steve Harvey's magnitude, come on, man, to publicly chastise her, and you know that was wrong. And then you got people like Lee Daniels and all them basically being bullies, and Oprah, and fuck Oprah. That's the problem. It's too many fucking niggas looking at Oprah. That's a broke bitch too. She don't even own her own channel. Discovery got that shit. So go buy Discovery stock. That bitch is sent here to do the system of white supremacists work. So she is an advocate for the system of white supremacists. She's an advocate for the system of the white supremacists. And the system of white supremacy. She's the advocate of that. If she wasn't, then why she... Look, her, Obama, all the motherfuckers is for it. Rahm Emanuel don't give a fuck about no niggas, but that was Obama's boy. Joe Biden don't give a fuck about no niggas, but that was Obama's boy. But we talking about Obama. Man, fuck Obama. He pulled the wool over everybody's eyes with that hope. He was just like a preacher. You selling hope. Look, man, hey, I went over a little bit. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, I like the channel like this, because I don't want them taking my shit like they did our brother Ben X. Ben X was going hard on their asses. They ain't like him. He was a part of the Nation of Islam, and he had too many followers. So they took his channel from him. So I like it. I got the books to prove it. I just want to give you a different perspective. Hey, man, this is the No I Don't Know podcast. I appreciate everybody checking this shit out. Hey, man, I see y'all niggas on, was it Saturday? No, not Saturday, Sunday. I'm busy this weekend. I'm busy every weekend. But I'll holler at y'all then, man. And for all y'all niggas that's out there at your baby mama house and pretending like you really over there to see your kids when really all you doing is over there just trying to fuck and borrow some money and borrow the car. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.